It is time for Around the 412 with Smitty and Tyler.
Welcome back to another episode of Around the 412. I am Tyler. With me, as always, is my co-host, Smitty. Be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Around the 412. And also, if you're not listening or watching the show over there already, go check us out on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and like the videos. Let us know in the comments as well if you like what you're seeing. Definitely something that you can't say about the Pirates. Also, go follow us anywhere that you listen to the podcast, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and check out the description anywhere you find the show to check out all the links to our great sponsors. Yeah, like I mentioned just a couple seconds ago, not a lot of great from what we're seeing from the Pirates. And I feel like that's something that's probably expected at this point. We haven't recorded in a couple weeks talking about the Pirates, but not much has changed.
I mean, you could play any Pirates episode and it comes out the same way. I was just saying, I couldn't even remember if we did one last week. That's how bad things are. But looking at the course of like over the last week, they had that LA trip, obviously, that took place kind of during the NFL draft. So like my mind was completely on that, not even over there. They did win 2 of 3 from the Angels, and then they take the first one from the Dodgers just to lose the next 2 in pretty embarrassing fashion. Paul Steen's put on a show on his start against the Dodgers, but like day 2 of the NFL draft, I don't think, a ton of people paying attention to that, as sad as that sounds. Excuse me. And then the series kicked off with the Cubs with a 9-0 loss before they bounced back tonight to win 4-3. A late Andrew McCutchen 2-run double leading the charge there with him getting the win. But yeah, I mean, copy and paste any stretch that the Pirates have had this year. That's kind of what the last week has been. Ups, downs, inconsistent hitting, one of the worst offenses in baseball. I'm actually going to have to find this tweet now from my guy, Danny DeMillo, who covers the team for the Sports Now crew over here. Well, along with John Parado, obviously. But it was a tweet about the Pirates offense and just like their ranks. And I quoted it, and literally all I said was year 6 in terms of what their offensive ranks are this year. So I want to find this tweet just to how bad it's been. Okay, yeah. So this was before tonight's game. So 30 games in, they were 26th in batting average, 24th in on base percentage, 28th in slugging, 27th in OPS, 27th in home runs, 25th in runs. I was actually surprised by this. They're 20th in starting pitching ERA, and they're 18th in relief pitching ERA. So actually, the relievers have a better ERA than the starting pitchers. Although I will say, how much of that is, obviously the one Thomas Harrington start did not go well. Mlodzinski right now being a starting pitcher. Bailey Falter, I think he's had like 2 starts where he's gotten really roughed up. So, and then Andrew Heaney didn't have a great start his last time out either, even though he's been fantastic largely in each start leading up to that. But yeah, I was surprised by that. Just as I feel like I thought they've been pitching like a top 10 rotation, but the numbers really don't bear that out. It's been largely Paul Steens and Andrew Heaney up to this point.
I think Mitch Keller's done a decent job as well when it comes to the starters.
Yeah, I think his ERA is like low 4s now, though.
Let me see.
Although the way that it just goes so far up and down this early in the season, where he's only made 5 starts probably.
Mitch Keller's ERA is 3.97.
So yeah, it's under 4 now because of his last start. So it would, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's done a decent enough job where he can be lumped with Skeens and Haney. Obviously, Skeens is standout. Haney's been fantastic in most of his starts, been the Pirate uniform. That is surprising to hear, but also at the same time, when you do look at just some of the like odd and end starts that they've had from like Falter, and you look at what Mlodzinski's done as a starter, I mean, or not done, I guess you could say, as a starter, and it's not as surprising, but still, I feel like it's like polar opposites are what is the good and the bad from the bullpen and the starting pitching when you're really looking at the numbers. I feel like the starting pitching is getting weighed down by some bad starts from Mlodzinski and a few bad starts from Falter. And overall, I feel like the bullpen, maybe our expectations should be a little higher overall. But when you look at like early on, a few bad starts, or not starts, a few bad innings from David Bednar and Colin Holderman. You have
Holderman. It's not.
Yeah.
Holderman's continued that. Bednar looks really good since coming back up.
No, Bednar looks good coming back up. I'm saying, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like overall, I don't think the bullpen has been awful. I think that there's definitely some guys that are weighing down those numbers. Same thing with the starting pitching. I don't think the numbers in the starting pitching necessarily say how good some others ever like is in those room have really played this season. Like I think Skeens, Haney, and I even throw Keller in there have done a nice job as the starters, and I think that overall the bullpen has done okay. Honestly, the biggest thing is they're just not getting run support. It's when you talk about the starters specifically.
That's fair. Yeah. So I think that probably the best way to put that is the offense. Those numbers actually tell the story of what we're seeing play out with the starting pitching and bullpen. It's more so a guy or two within that group. The hitters, I'm not going to say completely top to bottom because I think O'Neal Cruz has been very good this year. He's hitting the cover off the ball right now. But largely it's been pretty bad. Joey Bart's number is still pretty solid. Even like, IKF's hitting at the bottom still, but like 280 batting average, 333 on base percentage. Kutch, I would say consistent, 277 with a 368 on base percentage. I think that you take that, especially at his age. But Brian Reynolds has been bad. 236, 294. He's in a slump right now. We keep talking about, T. Bryan, 245, 310. That's not going to cut it. And Manuel Valdez, we got him getting hurt, taking swings. Basically throwing his shoulder out of place, taking a swing. Jared Triolo, can we get him his torpedo bats and see if that makes any difference? Because right now he's hitting 175 with a 209 on base percentage. Adam Frazier, who I still don't understand why they brought back, 244 with a 305. And I was saving this guy for last specifically because I'm just so sick of seeing him. Tommy Pham hitting 170 with a 248 on base. He's literally worse offensively this year than when everybody was booing Rowdy Tellez. And I know that we've gotten to that point now with Pham where he is getting booed after at bats, but he is like, I would say it's even a gap. Like he's relatively significantly worse than Rowdy Tellez was at this point last year.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think that's probably the worst signing. For sure of the offseason, but like in at least a couple seasons, I feel like for the Pirates, it's been awful. Especially because that's like
$4 million to him.
That is your marquee. That's your marquee bat that you got in the offseason. If you're not including Kutch, who was already a Pirate, that's like your big signing. It's awful, and he should not be an everyday player at this point. I don't understand the justification for it. Like the Pirates are not good, and he is somehow making them worse. So why are you not playing anybody else? Like would it be worse to just play Jack Suwinski? I know he's down in the minors right now, but like, would it be worse to just play Jack Suwinski every day than what you're getting from Tommy Pham? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that I'm not 100% sure if this is still the case, but I know like Pham's defense, like the numbers, the metrics are great. I'm not sure what they look like now. Of course, like, how good does he have to be defensively to even like justify that? I don't think it's enough to justify him being in the lineup. But like in terms of playing him over Jack Suwinski, I don't know that I feel super strong. I don't feel strong about it either way. No matter what direction which one of those guys was playing, I wouldn't want them to be. So
yeah, and I don't feel strongly about Suwinski, but I also don't know that the Pirates have much better options either. And that's kind of the corner that they put themselves into, is that they don't really have much else to go unless you want to play Andrew McCutchen like every day as an actual outfielder, which I'm sure as a 38-year-old,
if they wanted an all defense,
but
if they wanted an all defense outfielder, they should have gotten Ramon Laureano on a 1-year deal who signed with Baltimore. I'm looking at guys that got $4 million. Donovan Solano, actually a little under $4 million, like that play outfield too, just to see what the difference would have been.
Well, I don't know if you saw, did you see the pony rant today?
I actually missed this one. I did not.
So he was ranting about the Pirates per usual, and he ranted about Tommy Pham and how Cincinnati was able to sign a guy. Now, granted, I think he's played like half the games that Tommy Pham has so far in this season. But Cincinnati was able to sign Austin Hayes for I think a 1-year deal at $5 million, well within the Pirates' price range. And right now he's batting .365 on the season, on base percentage .431, a 1.143 OPS in 14 games.
That's a good shout. That name was mentioned for sure as a bounce back candidate. It used to be with the Orioles. That's I was looking at guys that actually got less, but just a little bit more. Which, why am I trying to do Bob a favor and find a player that made less money? I don't know, but Ahmad
like
Rosario,
1 year, $5 million is well within the Pirates' budget.
Sure.
And
heck, just bring back Michael A. Taylor. I would have wanted that, but
I just it's amazing to me how bad the Pirates just continue to be from a fielding standpoint, from a batting standpoint, from a I mean, even if you just go off of the field and look at their offseason decisions, their PR management, everything is just continually just a downward spiral for this team. And I have no idea when it is going to stop. Like when is the turnaround going to happen? You would think that it would have been this season if anybody with a brain in that organization realized what kind of player that they have with Paul Skeens and what kind of opportunity that they have with a player like Paul Skeens. And you see what you have in a starting pitching rotation when you look at guys like Mitch Keller being a solid like number 3 pitcher, when you have Jared Jones when he comes back from injury, when you have Bubba Chandler that is looking really good in the minors and can come up at any point this season. Anybody with a brain should be able to realize, like, oh, this is the time to really buy into this team and finally get out of this rebuild and finally start trying to compete. But no, this team is just filled with a bunch of morons in the front office. They have no idea how to operate any sort of financial system outside of the constraints of Bob Nutting and what they give. They have no idea how to operate a baseball club, get quality players, and they have no idea what kind of player that they have with Paul Skeens, because it's going to the time that they have with Skeens is going to pass them by, and then they're going to realize, oh, we had a generational player and we didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, you get a weapon in your arsenal right now. When you have that guy making that little money, there's not an excuse to not build around it. I mean, Paul Skeens actually he's on the Pirates, and he has a shirt through our sponsor, Game Changers, because Paul Skeens is a game changer. What's going on, everybody? Smitty from around the 412, and I just want to take a quick second to give a shout out to our folks at Game Changers. Their logo on the screen right now, right above my microphone. Over 2,000 different designs in their catalog. Luxury heavyweight material. I am wearing one of their shirts right now. Best vintage t-shirts in the game. Head over to gamechanger.la or pick6.la to pick up some shirts. And guess what? Use code AT412. Save yourself $10 on your order every single time. Again, gamechanger.la or pick6.la. Best vintage t-shirts in the game. Check them out. Now, what I will say is Andrew McCutchen, O'Neal Cruz, Jared Jones, they also do have Game Changer shirts. So, but go check one out. Go check them out. Go grab one. AT412 at checkout. A bunch of people have been using that code over the last month or so, so we appreciate it if you were watching or listening to this and you're one of those people. But yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall during these conversations. I would love to give Paul Skeens some truth serum and just figure out how he feels legitimately about what's taking place. We talked about, how special he was in that performance against the Dodgers, just to see how the rest of that series played out against them, where it's like he's the ultimate equalizer. When he's on the mound, they got a shot. When anybody else is, even Mitch Keller, with all due respect to Mitch Keller, because if they give up a couple runs, you don't feel good about their chances of winning. Paul Skeens, he gives up no runs. He gives up 1 run. Okay, maybe they could scratch across a couple and win this ball game. He could steal one. You don't feel that way when anybody else is on the mound. So there's just like this level of confidence when he's out there that gives you every reason to, like you're saying, build upon it. Like Jared Jones is really good. Mitch Keller's good. Andrew Heaney's been good. They have enough within that rotation to justify spending on the offensive side of things here. But the addition of Tommy Pham is the perfect example of this, because even what they spend money on, it's terrible. Like, that just goes to show top to bottom, this is just an operation that doesn't work. They don't spend enough money. The money they do spend isn't spent wisely. And then when they're here, they're not deployed properly, and they don't even do the basic stuff right. So this is on every level: ownership, the GM, the coach. It's a mess, and I don't see the path forward under this regime. You can make, in my opinion, I think that Shelton will be the first one to go. I think we've said that on here. But in my opinion, I think that you could make the case for him being the one to stay over Sherrington, because I would be curious. There's a little bit that is curious what it would look like if he did have just a super talented team. Not that the Pirates are ever going to be that, but like if Derek Shelton were managing the Dodgers, would he be able to do that job? Yeah, probably. So there's part of me that does wonder if he can manage a better roster. But in my opinion, and I think we've talked about this before, I do think he'll be the first domino to fall at the end of this season, or whenever that time does come.
I agree with that. But man, the thing is, like with Sherrington, you're in year 6 of your rebuild. At what point when does the rebuild stop? At what point does any accountability fall on your GM for not getting this done fast enough? Like the best thing that Ben Sherrington has done for the Pittsburgh Pirates is make the team bad enough that put them in a position to draft Paul Skeens. That is his marquee accomplishment when it comes to being the Pirates GM. I don't know at what point do you turn this around if you're Ben Sherrington, and if you're the Pirates, you're Bob Nutting. If you truly care about this organization and you want them to have a winner, at what point do you actually make a move at GM, as opposed to like I agree with you in saying that in both standpoints, that I think that Derek Shelton will ultimately be the first domino to fall, but I feel like Ben Sherrington is the bigger problem, and I think he has been the bigger problem the entire time. And I just don't see a way that he's going to be able to build himself out of this. Like, if you look at outside of that 1 year where he won a World Series, his first year at GM in Boston, and then plummeted after that, he has not been a good GM. He has not built teams into winning. Like I said, that first World Series, that was in year 1, and then the Red Sox bottomed out. There's nothing that he does that gives anyone any promise that he's going to be the GM to be able to turn this around. And that's why I don't know why the Pirates are just sitting on their hands this entire time. I don't know why Bob Nutting thinks that this is enough, that he's given enough to this franchise to be able to turn it around when you have Ben Sherrington running your ship for you. I just don't think, I think he's going to sink it more than actually repair it and sail it.
And I think, you know, what all this goes back to, and I'm not saying that they're alone in doing this. A lot of organizations do, but like, just don't treat your fans like idiots. Like, you know, just speak openly. Let everybody know what's going on. This is like more of a PR thing, I guess, than anybody else. But like the lack of transparency within the organization. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course they do. Why would they be good at anything? The lack of transparency is really what gets me. Like, they think their fans are stupid. Like, Bob Nutting saying he feels like he's exuded all of his resources to make this team as good as possible. What are we talking about, man? Like, in what I told you in terms of the money, where, okay, he did allocate some dollars that Ben Sherrington asked for, not even to players. Ben Sherrington decided to put that into baseball operations. Where is that money going? Like, what exactly was that used on? What has been upgraded? Was anybody else hired? Did they build like some analytical department that we don't know about? Like, did they bring in more staff? No idea, because there's a lack of transparency within this organization, and we'd never know. They are far too, nothing is ever proactive with them. It's always reactive. Think about the bricks. Mm-hmm. Think about the Clemente with the wall thing. Like, this is all things that they don't tell anybody about. People make an issue out of it, whether it's more of an issue than it should be or not. They make an issue of it, and then they make a statement and apologize for doing so, and then try to fix it. Let's not put ourselves into situations where anything needs to be fixed. Let's get out in front of these things. And this applies at all levels as well. So I just, top to bottom, it's been an organizational failure time and time again. Like you said, this is year 6 of the collective regime, because Derek Shelton and Ben Sherrington were brought in together. And I don't see a path forward with this group. I don't think that I will I'm cautiously optimistic that there's not much longer. I don't know why I have that sense, but I do. At least in the case of Derek Shelton, I think we're reaching a breaking point here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think that for one of them or both of them?
I think we could see Derek Shelton fired in season this year. I don't think we would see Ben Sherrington fired in season. So I think it's possible Shelton in season, Sherrington after the season. But I also think it's possible like Shelton goes and Sherrington doesn't yet, and he's back in 26.
Yeah, I think that's fair. In case all of you were wondering, I looked at how long you had to go back for a worse start in the Pittsburgh Pirates than what they've had in 2025 right now. As of recording on Wednesday night, they are 12-19. That is worse than when they lost back-to-back 100-game seasons in 2021 and 2022. That is worse than when they lost 105 games in or 106 games in 2010. You have to go back to 2009 for the last time that the Pirates were 12-19 at 31 games into the season. And we're talking about in that 16-year stretch, you have 3 seasons where they lost 100 games, and they still were not as bad as they are right now.
Yeah, it's not. What are they on pace to win? 60, 59 or 60 or something like that.
I mean, something like that.
Yeah. Either way, year 6, like this is where they should be. Certainly over 500, competing for a playoff spot. Bare minimum.
They're on pace for. I guess if you round up, somewhere between 62 and 63 wins right now.
So very possible another 100-loss season.
Yeah.
Based off that pace. Now they're going to get Jared Jones back. This rotation is going to get better. So that's the other thing I'll say about those numbers that we talked about at the beginning is you can see where that rotation is going to get better with the addition of Jared Jones when he comes back. You got Bubba Chandler on the horizon. You got reinforcements there. Where the hell are the reinforcements coming for the lineup? Like, there's nothing there. What, Nick Gonzalez coming back?
And I mean, you also want to talk about like where they've allocated money. Brian Hayes, Gold Glove at third base, but just abysmal with his bat. And Brian Reynolds has had a poor season to start, coming off of what was a down year in and of itself, which ultimately, when you compare it to his peers on the team, was still a solid season last year for Brian Reynolds. But compared to what he was before he got that contract, like that's 2 guys that you've invested a lot of money into that have not lived up to the contract since they've gotten them.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is, again, it's almost like the pitching and hitting thing for me with these 2, because we've seen Brian Reynolds be able to turn it on. Brian, I feel like is what he is. This is what he is. Like, regardless of how I can't continue to look at how hard he hits the ball and say that's just bad luck and they'll come his way, because they haven't now for years. Like, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he just.
Want to talk about bad luck? Bad luck is Starling Marte hitting it directly at the shortstop in a wild card game. That's bad luck. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, when he does it continuously over and over and over game, that's not bad luck.
Yeah, just what he is, I suppose. Anything else? What a way to end it, bringing up the 2022.
No, we hit the over, by the way. Before we recorded this, we wondered if this was going to be longer than our Penguins episode. We did hit the over.
Yeah, Penguins episode, all 3 this week. We spoil you guys. So be sure to check those out. Although this will probably be the first one we put out. So never mind. Wait until tomorrow to watch the next one, and then the following day, the next one after that. But hey, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when a new episode is posted. That way you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, in terms of your podcast rotation, whether it's on YouTube or listening, I hope that we make your cut. Smitty from around the 412 here, and while I may not have much hair, the hair that I do have will not be cut by anybody besides Keek at Keek's Barbershop. My friend Christian Circle, been with us since day one. Keek's Barbershop, located 401 Burkitch Way, Suite 2 in Beaver, PA. Download the app The Cut book an appointment with Christian today, or you can do walk-in with Tony or Ashley. But again, Teeks Barbershop, 401 Burkitch Way, Suite 2 in Beaver, PA. Go check them out. Old school vibe in there. Absolutely love it. Cannot recommend them enough. Wouldn't go anywhere else. Maybe I'll see you there. I was multitasking here. And typically when I am, I'm like on the episode, I'm looking for something for that episode to talk about. So I'd be looking up like MLB stats or something like that. I'm not. I was looking to see if Game Changers had a Caleb Johnson t-shirt. They do. It's pretty sick. So I know this isn't even the Steelers episode, but I feel like I got to show you guys because maybe you're Steelers fans and you can use that code over there as well. Look at this bad boy. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what I'm saying. If you dig the college, if you just squint a little bit, hard to tell that it's not the Steelers.
I know you can get that in black, pepper, ivory, or white. Pepper's my personal favorite. That's like all of them besides a couple are in because it's like the vintage look as well. Tyler, you have some stuff from them.
Yeah, I do. I've got a Jimmer Fredette shirt. I have a Steve Young shirt. I also have a Andrew McCutcheon shirt. The one I still want to get. I talked about it last year. I didn't actually end up getting it because I was on a family vacation trip with my wife's side of the family, and they were going to have group T-shirts for the 4th of July. But I want to end up getting it anyway. I want to get the Dale Earnhardt jersey, or not jersey, the Dale Earnhardt shirt in white for my 4th of July shirt this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, it turns out last year I was going to do it, and then I realized it would be all for naught. I could have ultimately got it anyway. This year I hope I do, but last year, family T-shirts, whatever.
Anyways, yeah, that's it for us. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're here on YouTube. If you're listening somewhere else, Apple, Spotify, wherever your podcast from, leave a 5-star review and subscribe over there, and head over to YouTube to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Totally free. Best way to help us out and support the show. So be sure to do that. Hit us in the comments with your thoughts on anything that we talked about today. Question for a future episode, all that good stuff. Check out the description. Got our links. Mentioned Game Changers, obviously. Use code AT412 at checkout over there. Save yourself $10. That will work at GameChanger.la or Pick6.la. So do that as well. Everything Custom Designs, our friend Haley Wagner's small business, her Facebook page down below. And then last thing, and certainly not least, right above Tyler right now, Marcelo Electric, our friend Brandon Marcelo, a.k.a. Boots, his small business serving Beaver, Allegheny, Lawrence, and Butler County. Does commercial and service calls as well as residential. Schedule service, contact him 724-614-0611. Again, Marcelo Electric, 724-614-0611. But the link to his Facebook page down below, that number's there, email's there, pictures of all the work that he's done in the past is there as well. Give you an idea of what exactly he can do for you. But appreciate everybody that tuned into this episode. We will be back next week for another one of these, another Steelers episode as well. And we'll see about the Pens. They make a coaching hire, can guarantee we'll be here. But otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. Anyways, this is for Tyler, for Smitty. This has been the Around the 412 Pirates show. We'll see you next time. Bye.